We're back, and as you can see, we've got no travel buff music. Even on the script it says travel buff, but Alex is not here today. As you all know, we are going to be having our Hallyu Korean Wave curators, YouTubers Joel Bennett and Jason Ray in the studio. In fact, if you're watching the video radio, you can see they are already here. So without further ado, let's say hello to Jason and Joel. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Morning.
You okay? You look a bit tired, as in you've been doing lots of activities.
Yeah, it's been pretty tight.
So you're here in Korea with the program Korea Joa, hosted by the Korea Foundation for International Culture Exchange. When did you guys get here?
I got here last Monday.
Monday? Okay. How about you, Joel?
Yep, Monday as well.
So you flew in from the UK, and Jason, I assume, from the US as well. So you've been here a week. How much more time have you got to go on this program?
I have not long, like maybe 2 or 3 more days.
And then you're heading back to the US?
Then I'm heading back, yep.
The same for you, Joel?
Yeah, 2 more days of the program, and then I've got another week in Korea.
Oh, nice. Okay. So for anyone out there of our listeners who don't know you guys, some of our listeners are aware, and we're going to give their questions to you a little later on. Could you introduce yourselves and how you got involved in this program and what your YouTube channel is all about? Start off with you, Jason.
Yeah, so my name is Jason Ray. I am a YouTube musician. And I've been doing Korean covers for the past 2 to 3 years, where I take Korean songs and I translate them to English and kind of add my own R&B kind of American twist to it. And Korea Joa contacted me through Dia TV, which is a channel network that I'm working with through YouTube, Dia TV. And when Kofis offered the opportunity, it really sounded like a great opportunity to explore more about Korean culture, and that's pretty much how I signed on to be here.
Fantastic. So we did a news item earlier with our daily newsreader, Juhyun, about the Dia Festival that took place on the weekend. So were you involved in that as well?
Yes, I was.
I see. And Joel, for any of our listeners who are familiar with Yeongguk Namja or Josh, they may well have seen you around, but you are now a YouTube star in your own right. Could you introduce yourself as well?
Yeah, as you said, for those that know me, they probably, I'm kind of known from the Yeongguk Namja Kajok, from the Yeongguk Namja family. But I'm Joel Bennett from London town, and
your YouTube channel, I watched it last night, and I saw it's brilliant. No, it's fantastic. I saw the episode that you recently uploaded. I guess you were just in London like a week or so ago.
Right.
With some Korean food from a Korean restaurant there, and you were eating it out on the green. Unseasonably warm temperatures in London, by the way, almost like Korea, right?
It's been absolutely phenomenal. Like I was just saying to Jason before we came in here, the weather. I left London at like 27 degrees. London at like 27 degrees is like, I go down to Hampstead Heath, go swimming in the ponds.
Sure.
And it's just beautiful. And then kind of coming to this kind of monsoon type weather, it's been a little bit challenging, but
it is a bit too sticky at the moment.
Yeah.
So if you want to check out either of these YouTube channels, could you just give out the YouTube channel names? Jason, how can they find you on YouTube?
Mine's Jason Ray TV, JASONRAY TV.
And Joel, yours is an interesting name. I've seen
that. So mine's Gypsy Kid, but as I'm super dyslexic, I've spelt it absolutely terribly, which is not what you want to do for a YouTube channel. But it's JIPSEEKID.
I think that works well. It's kind of unique as well. It's nice. So how did you guys first get into Korea then? Jason, first up, have you been doing singing like your whole life, or is that a new thing as well with the K-pop tunes at the same time?
With K-pop, like probably for about the past 4 years. Music in general, I've been doing that my whole life.
So how did you get interested in K-pop?
So 3-4 years back, when I first heard like K-pop and saw like a K-pop video, I was just like blown away by just the level of like quality of the production value of like the video and also like the music, the level of creativity and all that just blew me away. So that's what triggered the K-pop thing. And also I kind of saw it as like an untapped niche within YouTube. Like nobody was really doing it. So I'm like, oh wow, this is could be a cool opportunity to kind of share, like music in a different way
Yeah.
that not everybody else is doing. So yeah.
Cool. So were you doing YouTube before that as well?
Yeah, I was, and I was actually doing American covers, and I had, it was going, going well, but it's definitely tough, no matter what genre you do. But with K-pop, like the first cover I did just like took off. It was Kara Step Up.
Oh, wow.
And Kara saw it and shared it on their with their fans and everything, and it just kind of like took off. And so I'm like, wow, this is
What's up?
Yeah, the artists themselves picked up on your first one.
Yes, exactly.
That's a great start, isn't it? YouTube, but many people have told me, like YouTubers that I've met, it's slowly but surely, you got to be consistent and
definitely.
upload all the time. But to take off from the first video, that's unreal, Jason. Joel, for you then, you got into this through your friend Josh. Was he already YouTubing when you first started then?
No, so I've known Josh for a long time. But even before that, my first introduction to Korean culture was through breakdancing.
Breakdancing?
So when I first got into breakdancing, Korea was the country that was leading, that kind of culture at the time. So they kind of come in and they were absolutely smashing it. And so like I was like, who are these amazing people? Like literally these people. I was like, wow, these guys are amazing. And like, so that was when I kind of first got introduced to Korea. And for ages I had this kind of like, everyone in Korea is going to be this amazing b-boy type thing. And
it's
I
not
didn't-
true. I can vouch for that, personally.
So that was kind of where I first, and then I met Josh, and he was like, dude, we gotta go to Korea sometime. We gotta go to Korea, and we finally ended up going to Korea about 5.5 years ago. We taught kind of English for 4 weeks in Pohang.
Okay.
Yeah, and it was absolutely phenomenal experience.
And at that time, was Josh, otherwise known as Yongguk Namja, very big in Korea especially? Was he a YouTuber at that time?
No, I mean that's a relatively recent kind of progression. I think that's about 3 years ago.
Okay. And then he started posting up videos, you'd appear in them, and then you started your own channel as well? Is that how things progressed?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, and you got quite a big following there yourself now. I watched a video last night of you picking up an award. Was that quite recent? It was in Malaysia, was it?
Yes.
In Kuala Lumpur?
That was really random. But what an amazing privilege. I think for me it's kind of weird when you're a part of something. So to be a part of like such a big channel, but not kind of necessarily have like a degree of ownership. You don't necessarily have this appreciation for your part within that necessarily. So to win an award for, I think it was 2017 YouTube personality.
Yeah, in Korea, right?
In the Korea section of kind of the whole of Asia kind of YouTubers, it was just absolutely phenomenal. It was really gives you a lot of confidence, I think, to kind of be, people actually enjoy kind of watching me. So
yeah, it's definitely the case.
Yeah.
Lots of subscribers, lots of views for your videos. So Jason, after getting involved into the K-pop thing, Kara reposting your video, when was the first time you got to come to Korea? Had you been to Korea before that?
No.
Okay, so when did you first get to come, and how did that happen?
So after Kara, like fast forwarding, I continued to post videos, and they continued to like kind of go viral and create more attention. And so that's when Superstar K contacted me at the 6th season at the time. And after we worked everything out, that was my very first time coming to Korea. And I was there for about a month or so recording Superstar K.
Okay.
The singing show, and that was my first time in Korea.
Wow, so what was that like? That show used to be insanely popular, and all eyes on them. I remember I was a big fan of season number 3, I think it was, where Buska Buska won. And they had a foreigner there as well, Chris Golightly, and he had been in the American Pop Idol kind of version, and then he came to the show. But I think one of his barriers was his Korean language ability. So how did you find that? Because you usually sing in English, right?
Yep.
So for that show, what was it like?
In that regard, it was very difficult to, my Korean pronunciation obviously was kind of not as strong of an area for me, but it was still really good just to, just get that introduction to Korean culture. I made like while I was on the show, it was definitely it served the purpose that it was supposed to serve. But after a point, my Korean pronunciation kind of limited sort of my ability to, you know, kind of keep going further within the show. But it was, yeah, still a totally awesome opportunity.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, that was like the first time that I was in Korea. So it definitely created that way for me to kind of be able to start off, you know, kind of just more of a dialogue and strengthen my relationship with you know, K-pop music with fans. I was able to actually connect with a lot of the fans that had seen me on YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's awesome. So what was your initial impression of Korea the first time you came? Did you get a lot of free time? I'm assuming it was a lot of filming.
Yeah, it was a lot of filming, but there was like a lot of downtime too. For the most part, in my case, they really didn't want me traveling out too much because kind of more of they were trying to kind of, I guess, contain the show as much as possible.
Yeah.
So I really didn't get a whole lot of time to really just like wander around. But I mean, my first impression was definitely like, you know, a lot of food in Korea, just such a warm like culture, you know, very inviting, just a lot of cool things to do in Korea, like the nightlife in Korea is like popping, like
yeah, absolutely. Many of my friends who have been here once or twice say that is an amazing side of things. Joel, back to you. And you said the first time you came, you were teaching English for 4 weeks in Pohang. Yeah, that's not a regular stop on like the tourist's itinerary. So what was it like down there? What was your impression of Korea when you first arrived?
When I first arrived, I'm back then, like for work now, I travel all the time.
Yeah.
And so like I've been to so many different countries. I understand like so much culture as a result of that, and this is amazing. But back then, it was like I didn't really know anything outside of London. And you know, I just got my first passport. I think the year before I went to saw my friend in Latvia.
Right.
And then you know went to a few other countries. Then I went to Korea. And Josh basically had not warned me about Korean winter.
Oh,
so
really? You came in winter? Wow.
Yeah. And so I rocked up. I think it was like a freak weather as well. So it was minus 15, I think it got down to.
Okay.
And I'm there and I'm like, I need to buy I'm there in a jumper. And I was like, I thought Asia was hot. I thought Asia was a hot country.
Right.
So that was the immediate culture shock. But it was really interesting. It was the first time that I'd actually had reverse culture shock.
Yeah.
And so the whole 6 weeks, it was like you experience all this culture, but it kind of becomes a normality.
Yeah.
To be, you know, this person within this culture.
Yeah.
Then I came back to London and I was like, everything's the same but different, and this is like, oh my gosh, why are we doing this? Like it was when I realised that I got onto the tube from Heathrow to go home, and you know, Josh would say stuff like, "Oh, the tubes here are amazing, aren't they? They've got heated seats, and you know." And then obviously in London we have like one of the oldest tube systems in the world. And I get on the tube and I'm like, I'm on like a Lego train set. Like I'm like,
it's gonna break apart.
Yeah, it's literally one of So that was when I really kind of realised the difference in culture, I think.
Yeah, when you go back to your home country, I've experienced that. When I go back to the UK, everything now is so slow. Right. Like I'm like, why can't they work quicker at the department
Why
stores?
can I not get coffee after 5 o'clock?
Yeah. Why is everything closed so early?
Right.
So today we're talking to Jason and Joel here, famous YouTubers promoting Korea, really doing a great job for the country and its culture. We're going to continue the talk after a song break and read out some of your questions as well. For the time being, we are going to listen to, Jason, one of your hits, right, with Maktube. This is Beautiful. We are back here with the famous YouTubers, Joel and Josh, in the studio. So Jason, Joel and Josh, I mean Joel and Jason. Josh, the Yongguk Namja, is not here. We're happy to have Jason because your voice, that was amazing, Jason. You recorded that a while back now.
Yeah.
And that was released here in Korea?
Yeah, it was.
Ooh, that's a really nice song. And who is the artist that was with? Maktube?
Yeah, he's a producer, Korean producer.
Oh, okay. Is that a remake of a Korean song? Or
oh, no.
That's just an original?
He did it was collaboration. Kind of, we both worked together as far as the writing. He made the track and everything. I did some of the writing and helped the top line, and so it was a collaboration.
Oh, nice. So you're planning on releasing some more stuff here in Korea in the
definitely.
future? Yeah, that's awesome. And any plans for like the US as well? Because your voice is fantastic. Surely that's an international thing.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely more things up ahead as far as other markets go. But for right now, I definitely I want to just focus a little more on Korea because I think there's still a little more ground to cover in Korea, and then after that, kind of start branching out. For sure.
I'm sure our listeners will look forward to that as well. We got a couple of messages here to read out. One from Siska in Indonesia saying, "Hi Joel and Jason, good morning. Welcome to Hashtag Daily K. Could you please repeat your YouTube channels once again? I really want to check them out." So Jason Ray TV for you, Jason.
Yep.
And then Joel, it's Gypsy Kid. As in Jipsee. Original spelling, I love it. It's brilliant. Young here from Korea, I think they know you, Joel. They said, "OMG, the sound of Joel laughing is the best thing ever." I've fallen in love with that as well. 21 Crush from the US has said, "Hi Jason and Joel. My parents knew about my YouTube account, but I'm secretly continuing it and not telling them. They don't like me doing it. So I have some questions to you. Number one, what kind of genres do you like for music? I heard Joel, did you say you liked R&B, or maybe that was Jason? But I'm more into classic rock. What are your favourite genres? Jason, first, your music background. Is it R&B for you?
Yeah, that's one. Definitely have to include jazz, funk, pop music as well, and electronic.
That's a good mix for the Korean market as well, I think. Electronic, R&B, yeah.
Exactly.
And funk as well. Joel, are you musical at all?
Yeah.
Oh, you do beatboxing. I saw in your videos, just randomly, some beatboxing would come out, and it's amazing.
Yeah, I'm kind of my tick is beatboxing, so it's kind of borderline Tourette's, but
it just comes out randomly.
I don't realise I'm doing it, but I'm a drummer. So I've drummed since I was young. I used to be in a band, kind of indie pop band in London. But I mean, I just love music.
Yeah.
Music it's always been my passion.
How about K-pop then? Were you into K-pop before you came to Korea as well? Or?
I don't know anything about K-pop, unfortunately.
Yeah, so it's all genres. Because I saw you in a video on Haeundae Beach in Busan, and you just randomly started beatboxing with a busker. Yes. And then everyone just gathered around, and it was a pretty good collabo. If Jason was there, that would have been a perfect band there, right? Yeah. And then 21 Crush goes on to say his next question: do you remember, or are you guys familiar with the first generation of K-pop, like groups like 21? Well, that's, I guess, more second generation. But are you familiar with the older artists who have now disbanded, like Wonder Girls and other groups like that? Jason, I've seen you do a lot of up-to-date stuff. There is some older stuff. One of my favourites that I watched last night was EXO's Arirang in English. That was so random to hear in English. I really liked it. But are you familiar with the older generation stuff? Are you a fan of it as well?
Definitely a fan, and I am somewhat familiar with some of the first generation K-pop groups.
Who are your favourite artists out there, like K-pop ones?
Probably G-Friend, Zion T, Shiny,
awesome.
Ailey, Sistar. They just recently disbanded, but Hyorin from the lead of Sistar, really like her singing.
Great voice.
Yeah, those are just a few. I could
Nice.
keep mentioning, talking for the next hour. So many K-pop artists.
Yeah, they are some talented people out there, aren't there? Siska from Indonesia goes on to say, I want to know what you pick out of these things that are Korean, if you're familiar with Korean culture. So, jampong, the spicy noodle soup, or jjajangmyeon. Do you know those two dishes? They're like the representative Korean Chinese dishes. Have you guys tried those both? The black bean noodles and the spicy noodle soup? Are you familiar with that, Jason?
I probably have tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Joe?
I mean, I always go with noodles. I always go spicy.
It's got to be spicy.
Yeah.
The jampong.
Yeah,
this is like a test, I guess, that they say to Korean people. Which do you prefer out of these two things? So the next one is Gangnam or Itaewon. Are you guys familiar with the two districts of Seoul?
Yeah.
Which would you prefer, Gangnam or Itaewon?
I mean, it's got to be Itaewon, really. I never used to enjoy Itaewon, but recently I've found a kind of real love for it, and I think just like location-wise, it's got all these little pockets, and you can walk around the corner, and it feels it's nice. It's kind of more homely. It's quite
the back
multicultural.
Streets are way better than the main street, right?
Yeah.
Especially like the side that goes up the hill towards the big hotels. That's pretty good. And then last but not least, what was this other question here? Soju or makgeolli? Are you guys fans of Korean drinks? I mean, that's a big part of the culture here. Jason, have you managed to try any any
Yeah,
of the
we actually
alcohols?
made some. That's the thing. So that
Oh,
was really
wow.
cool. Yeah, we learned how to like the whole process. I liked both of them. Makgeolli was really good. That would probably be my go-to.
You made it yourself?
Yeah, we made it. Yeah.
Was it difficult?
Nah, it was like a few steps involved, but nah, pretty easy.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
Awesome. Joe, what about you? I saw with your Korean dish that you were enjoying on the green in London, some beers there, some craft beers. Is that more your thing, or are you into makgeolli or soju?
I'm big on the craft beers these days, little IPA session kind of drinks. But I'm a makgeolli man. You can't beat kind of a rainy day with a bit of paj on the makgeolli.
Absolutely. Today would be perfect,
Yeah.
right? Maybe for lunch afterwards. Ing from Malaysia says, so there are now 2 Yongguk Namjas in the studio. Oh, referring to Joel and myself. Yeah, not the original though. Maybe there's some trademark issues. During my first trip to Korea under the Korea Tourism's industrial trip for families, Pohang was one of the places we visited. We went to a steel factory and I can't wait to check out your YouTube videos. What is Pohang like for any of our listeners unfamiliar? I myself as well have never been.
Well, it's interesting. We didn't get to see the city that much because we were mostly in the university that we were teaching in. But it's kind of like I guess like a fishing town type place. There's really good seafood there.
Nice.
Not that I actually was able to try much, unfortunately. But
Really?
But yeah, it was nice. It was really friendly, and it's one of those places I need to go back to. Do a revisit.
Nice, yeah. It's not often on the beaten track as far as tourism is concerned, but I heard some nice things. I think our producer is actually from Pohang as well. Russi from Indonesia says, OMG, that was Jason's song. His voice is so nice and the groove is also really cool as well. Russi, you can hear a lot more like that on his YouTube channel, so check it out. I saw a link to an article I got given about you, Jason, learning Taekwondo? What was that for? Are you big in Taekwondo, or is that like a new thing?
No, it was one of the programs for KOFIS, and they kind of linked us up with the K Tigers, who are huge on YouTube. Like what they do is really awesome. They take Taekwondo and they kind of merge it with K-pop dance.
Wow!
And they just create like this cool way of doing choreography. So we worked together, and he was kind of showing me the Taekwondo. One of the members was showing me some moves or whatever, and we were dancing to my 3rd single that's going to be released this upcoming, in the next couple months. Not quite sure on the date.
Wow.
But it was really cool. Really
maybe we
interesting.
Can see in the music video some Taekwondo moves.
Maybe.
That's pretty cool. So did you do the Taekwondo as well then, Joel? Was that a thing that all the YouTubers did together?
Yeah, it's actually one of those things that I've wanted to do for so long. I used to do tricking a little bit.
Okay, the flips and things like that.
And stuff like that until I broke my shoulder.
Was that tricking or?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
But no, it's all good now. But I've got friends who can kick really well, and I'm just so like. How do I say it?
You really envy.
Envious, yeah.
That happens so often as well. There's a Korean word that there just isn't the same English word, or it doesn't come to mind. So you tried it for a day?
So yeah, we got to try it, as you said, with the K-Tiger group, and I broke some wood.
Oh, wow.
I think I broke 3 woods with my bare fist.
That's
and
amazing.
Then I did one with a kick, and then I did one with a spinning kick right at the end, but unfortunately it didn't break when I did the spinning kick. And
dear.
It hurt a little bit. And they were like, do it again, and I was like... And he was like, did it hurt? I was like, no.
Not at all. Let me try again. Is it something that you guys want to pursue? Because I've heard it's really good for like flexibility and exercise, that kind of thing. Do you guys have any passion in terms of working out or sports as well?
Well, actually, after the session, I kind of got like more motivation, because one of the feedback things that I got from... his name's at the tip of my tongue, but from the K Tigers member, he was like actually saying like I actually have good potential. Like he actually was kind of thinking maybe I'd already had experience with Taekwondo, but no, like maybe I kind of have a natural ability that I just need to tap into more. So maybe I'll get into it like down the line pretty soon.
I could see that, combining K-pop singing in English with Taekwondo. How much more Korean could you get than that? Yeah.
Exactly. And it's definitely like a really good like workout, like keeps you like, in shape. Like,
I can imagine. Joe, what other things have you been doing here then with CMS?
Goodness, where do I start?
Every day it's something different, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's been amazing. Just really getting into the depth of kind of in a surface way, but kind of going deep as well in just Korean culture, really.
How's it working? So are there 10 YouTubers, is it? Altogether?
I think 15.
15 you, and you're all travelling as this big group
Yep.
and getting taken around to all these places. I think we mentioned, and I don't know if you've done it or it's on the list of things to do, going down to Jeonju.
Yes.
Have you done that already?
Yep.
What was that like?
It was amazing. Yes, we went down to Jeonju, and as we were mentioning, we got to like try and make some makgeolli. We
you did that in Jeonju?
Yeah, and we made some bibimbap.
Oh, cool.
That was cool.
Yep.
You got to like do even the side dish part, or just mix it all together in a bowl?
Kind of from start, kind of
Yeah.
preparing the vegetables,
Yep.
and then kind of arranging it appropriately. And
So is this going to appear then on your YouTube channels respectively? Are you guys filming it separately or something? How's that working?
Yeah, we each film, our own videos from our own perspectives. And have you like had time to edit yours yet? I haven't had time to edit mine.
I can imagine.
I've started to edit a little bit. So I'm doing kind of like my style is like kind of quite. I'm doing like a kind of overall video that I've started to edit. It's kind of like a atmospherical type thing.
Yeah.
And I've been having a look at the drone shots. I took my drone up over over Jeonju, and I'm really excited about how those came out. So I did crash the drone though.
Oh dear.
But it's okay.
It's okay.
I think
we actually did a segment just the other week about drone football in Jeonju. It's like a thing now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like the drones are these big balls in the air, and it's like Quidditch, like from Harry Potter. You have to go through this loop,
my
and they
days.
have a league down there in Jeonju. Next time, take your drone with a ball around it.
Wow.
You could score some goals or something, Joe.
that's what's up.
I can't skip this part because this is pretty amazing. Joe, I've been told that you were on Muhan Dojan, Infinite Challenge.
Yes.
That's like the biggest variety show in Korea.
Yeah.
What was that like, and how did that come about?
It's just a friend of mine just put me through for it. Friend of a friend of a friend. Kind of they were looking for people to come on the show. They needed like there was quite a few kind of Weiguk Saram kind of like all together on that. And yeah, it just got him kind of invited to do it. It was absolutely phenomenal. I had literally no idea what the show was.
Oh really?
So prior to that, they hadn't told me. Actually, I thought it was going to be a bit kind of, like come on a show and it's going to be like, do you like kimchi?
Okay.
And,
the
this
tried
kind
and
of
tested, boring stuff, right?
and it was absolutely phenomenal. And I literally do not know a lot about at that time, because it was about a year and a half ago. I didn't know a lot about kind of Korean TV, and then kind of UJ Sok walks in, and I'm like, it's Running Man. And I'm like, am I on Running Man? This is my dream come true. And I still didn't really understand what the show was.
Yeah.
Like even like after finishing it, and it came out literally 2 days later.
Right.
So we shot on a Thursday and it came out on a Saturday.
Wow.
And I was like,
it's quick
how
editing, yeah.
for like 400 cameras, it was absolutely phenomenal. But wow, just to have just to have the opportunity to spend time with like UJ Sok and
all those other biggest
just
names,
everyone,
right?
yeah.
Park Myung-soo. So what was that show about? What did you have to do? Every show is different, like in terms of the challenges and things you're set to do. What was that show centered around then?
So this was kind of Seoul tour.
Okay.
So this was introducing kind of Korean culture to
Foreigners.
Westerners, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
foreigners.
what interesting places do you go to that stick out in your mind?
Oh goodness, we started at the studio and we got on a bus, and they kind of did a tour basically as we were going.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got to put some hanbok on.
Oh, nice.
And then we went to I've just forgotten the name of it.
One of the palaces?
Yeah, went to a palace. Yeah.
Maybe Gyeongbokgung.
Yeah,
I guess.
Gyeongbokgung. And then we went to I don't know what you call it, Kilkoryumshik type place where we got given these coins, and then you pay for the food, different types of food.
There's a market where
Yes.
you get these tokens and then you can choose all the side dishes there.
Yes.
I think it's Tongin Market usually that's famous for
Right.
that. Oh, wow. So on food, what is your favourite cuisine? Maybe from that market or just in terms of Korean food. What's your favourite dish?
Goodness, this has got to be the most difficult question you can ever ask anyone, because I think for me it's like in England when I eat, it's there is a kind of dynamic in terms of how you eat in the UK, but it's more kind of I fancy this or I fancy that. But in Korea, it's about the culture of eating, and there's so much kind of culture surrounded by kind of what you're eating as well.
Yeah. Like you mentioned, makgeolli and pajeon on a rainy day.
Right. So we went to I don't know, we call it like a makgeolli chib in Jeonju, and so you get the makgeolli, and then each time you buy a thing of makgeolli, they bring out different side dishes.
Oh wow.
And so that was really dope. And so I think it all depends on the time and where you're at and who you're with to kind of but anything from, I don't know, like kimbap to, you know, chimek to I don't know, like something spicy. Like I've got a real kind of soft spot for like takgalbi, because
Takgalbi, the chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice and spicy as well with the vegetables. Oh, delicious. Jason, for you, in terms of maybe Korean food or just Korean culture in general, what's your favorite thing?
Probably like I would have to say kimbap. Probably
Kimbap?
like my diet is like mostly vegetarian, so there's a lot of meat in Korea, as you know.
Hard to avoid sometimes,
so,
right?
yeah. So the options are a little limited, but I do eat seafood, chicken, and chicken. So, but kimbap is definitely a really good sushi roll. But I hear, from what I understand, like a lot of actual Koreans really maybe like they're burnt out on it, so they don't like, maybe eat it as much. But like when I tasted it, I'm like, wow, this is like awesome. So, but I haven't tried a whole lot of Korean food because a lot of it is like meat based. So
that's an interesting take from like a kind of semi-vegetarian point of view. Kimbap is really underappreciated because it's like your go-to food as a kid as well at school picnics. So maybe you're right. People get fed up of it here. But as a foreigner,
and it's really like it gives you like just the right amount of energy. Like it's not too heavy. Pretty light. So. Yeah,
fantastic.
Kimbap is where it's at.
We've run out of time, unfortunately. I could talk all day with you guys. It's so interesting. I'm sure our listeners are so pleased to have you here. So one last time, could you just give us your YouTube channels and then maybe a message to all our listeners who are interested in Korean culture after all? Jason, starting with you.
Awesome. Yeah, so please check out my channel, Jason Ray TV, on YouTube. And check out my stuff. If you like it, please subscribe. And can't wait to meet you online. Yeah,
fantastic. And Joel?
Yep, check me out at JIPSEEKID, Gypsy Kid, spelt wrong, but don't worry about that. And a massive shout out to our Indonesia and Malaysia listeners. Terima kasih.
Oh, fantastic.
Saya suka Indonesia, saya suka Malaysia. There you go.
Amazing. We have lots of Malaysian and Indonesian listeners on the message boards. I'm sure they would have appreciated that. Thank you so much for coming in, and good luck with the rest of the tour. And we hope to see you in Korea more often, guys. Please stop by whenever you're here.
Amazing.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
all right,
thanks so much for having us.
We're going to play another song from Jason Ray featuring Kate. This is 오만과 편견, About Us Part 2.